The reviews are in, and the ballot issue about property taxes and your Tabor refund, Proposition HH, it might as well stand for holy heck. Gabrielle from Fort Collins emailed us and said Prop HH is super complicated. Karen from Berthoud, I, along with many I know, are really struggling to understand HH. And Kip from Golden, the Blue Book qualifies as mind-numbing for the average person. The Blue Book takes 12 pages to explain HH. It's often the simplified explanation of what you're voting on. But this ballot issue would do so much, I'm going to need multiple stories to make sure you understand what these pages are telling you. Saying yes to HH would change the math that determines your property tax. If it passes, you will still see an increase in next year's property tax bill, just not as high of an increase. In return, the state gets to raise the limit on how much it can keep and spend each year, which would reduce future Tabor refunds. Also, lawmakers decided that only if you vote yes will Tabor refunds be sent out equally no matter how much you make. $898 for single taxpayers, double it if you file jointly. If Prop HH fails, Tabor refunds will be issued on your tax return based on your income level, meaning less for low-income earners and much more for high-income earners. Karen wanted an example of the impact Prop HH would have on a $500,000 home. The state has this calculator that helps give you 2 years' worth of estimates, but it requires you to type in your yearly income and home value. You have to pick your county, school district, and city for accurate property tax estimates. For simplicity, I'm going to pick Denver County and Denver Public Schools. Let's say you have a joint income of $100,000. Your Tabor refund goes down in the next 2 years, but you also save a bit on your property tax bills for a net benefit in your favor. Though I do want to point out, if HH passes, this shows your property tax still going up, just not as much as it would if it does not pass. Keeping the $500,000 home example, the more you make, let's say $200,000, the more the state benefits because you're giving up more Tabor refund than you're seeing on your property tax savings. The less you make, let's say $50,000, the more you benefit because of a greater Tabor refund. I know, it's lots of numbers. I'm trying to make this understandable. I also need to point out that if HH passes, Tabor refunds will continue to diminish or perhaps not exist because the state is allowed to keep more than it can currently. Renters have asked, what about us? Your impact is really the Tabor refund part. If you make less income, you might get more of a Tabor refund in the next 2 years. It's unclear after 2 years what it might mean for you. If you make high income, you will get fewer Tabor dollars in the next 2 years.
So first of all, on behalf of everybody who got their Blue Book in the mail this week and opened it up and said, what? Thank you.
I haven't earned the thank you yet, I don't think. Still.
Well, one of your first 8 stories, right? Second, let's say this doesn't pass. Let's do a hypothetical. It's not like the current value, the current law in place right now will stay in place for eternity. There's a chance that, if this doesn't pass, there's something else that comes along down the road.
Right, and the Blue Book makes estimates based on if this fails, current law says this is how we determine your home's property tax. If you think that lawmakers wouldn't change that equation somehow, even if this fails, that's absurd. Lawmakers will say, okay, this didn't work. We're going to do something else to try to lessen the impact. But the Blue Book estimates are only going off of current law. And so there is a bit of a scare tactic, I believe, that says, look, if you say no to this, it's going to skyrocket, as though lawmakers really aren't going to try to figure out another fix next year. My expertise says they will try if this fails.
Kyle's Dawn, I'm changing politics guy to politics expert. Marshall's.
Oh, I'll take it.
Thank you.